I think for convenience sake, you're probably better off putting the first class ones at the back, aren't you? Because they'll be the ones that restrict movement and everything.
Sure, that sounds good. That, and I'm sure the captain doesn't want all the rabble of coach back here near the engines. So yeah, these ribs back here need to be solid then. Instead of being ribs, we'll just make them into walls.
Right.
Boy, I'm getting some heavy video lag for some reason.
Video lag?
Yeah, getting a lot of video stuttering there for some reason. Don't know why. But I've been noticing that a lot over the last few days.
What program do you use?
Well, Minecraft mostly. But
oh no, it's not recording software you're talking about then.
no, I know it's not the recording software because it's been doing fine. You know, I haven't noticed it in any of the other games. Like when I was recording the Lotro stuff, it recorded fine without any kind of stuttering whatsoever. It's just Minecraft here. It's like every minute or two I'll get a short little video, get a short little pause, and then it'll start going again. Or like there, when I was back here and you were throwing down those stairs, I mean, I was getting a bad case of the jinkies.
Is it your antivirus updating or something?
Could be. Could be. God knows what all I got running on here.
I'll go and get us another stack of logs.
Alright. Oh, I've got one.
Got a stack of logs, have you?
Yeah, let me...
Oh, it's alright. I can use these planks I've got then to make the stairs.
It's alright, I meant to throw the logs in there anyhow. I'll go ahead and throw them in. I got 35 of them while I was down there, so there we go. And see, now it's stopped. Peculiar, like you said, it could have been something deciding to update or something.
So when you said the back two compartments, do you mean that this wall here where I am needs to be a solid wall then?
Boom, boom, boom. Yes. These, from where you are and the next two back, need to be solid walls.
So yeah, these three rings are just completely solid, okay.
Right, because those are going to be the walls of the first class cabins.
Stupid me didn't need these steps then.
And we'll probably, you know, figure out a decorative pattern or something to put on there, but...
Well, yes, so like you say, you can make it in the shape first of all, and then you can dwindify it afterwards by cutting it out and putting stuff where you want it.
Since that silly little elf will be on here soon. article at the Coxcomb, and they were discussing it was talking about various trends in steampunk and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the guy had kind of a romanticized view about the whole situation, because he was talking about how he was disappointed in that when, you know, the steampunk movement got started and everything, he was hoping for it to be more of a kind of a revolutionary style political movement and all. And he says it seems to be just more of a thing in fashion and fantasy, which I really don't understand why he was. I mean, he talks about the whole idea of why he was hoping for more of a political movement, but, you know, it's kind of, the arguments he make are kind of blue sky type arguments, and it's like, yeah, maybe in a perfect world.
What he was hoping we'd all actually regress to steampunk style technology or something? Or?
No, he was wanting it more kind of the point that he was making that I agree with was he was talking about airships. Why it is that steampunkers are so in love with airships. And he comes to the conclusion that basically it's because the airship kind of represents a period of time when everything wasn't about speed and getting things done quickly, and it was about, you know, taking your time and going through life with a certain kind of elegance and a certain kind of refinement.
Not invested in the rat race.
Exactly. And that was the kind of political argument that he was making, is that he was hoping that it would kind of create that would kind of get politicized and make or bring back a thought of culture that would come to bed. Bring back a form of culture that was more interested in that would make people, you know, get more into slowing down and more interested into quality and craftsmanship over expedience and how quickly can you get it done, which is a nice you know, thought, but kind of pie in the sky. But the one part I do agree with is like he said, the when he talks about why the steampunkers are so in love with the airship. And I think that very much, you know, it's something I was thinking the other day that I was watching some show on the History Channel, and they were showing this machinery that had been constructed sometime in the early part of the century, the 1910s, 1920s. And it was just your typical piece of factory machinery, which if you watch any of the shows now with the factory machines, you know, it's just big steel chunks, pipes, and, you know, metal machinery, and it looks like a big industrial piece of crap.
Yeah.
But back then, I mean, it did the same kind of job that the modern thing does, but it had these ornate legs that were holding it up. That had like this Art Nouveau scroll work on the sides of the legs. And had these brass trimmings on it, and these, you know, big identification plates that this machine, this, you know, lathe was constructed by the something company.
It was an elegant piece of art as well as functional. Whereas these days it's just purely functional.
It's purely about the function.
And it's not just that though. It is, in the old days they made things to last. These days they made them with an inbuilt lifespan, just so they sell more of them.
Oh yes, the whole planned obsolescence.
Yeah, you buy a washing machine these days, you expect it to last about 3 to 5 years before you're going to need a new one.
I had that problem with my last car. The one that I had before the one I got now, I had a problem with it. That it was a great little car. It was a Dodge by Chrysler, and it was a great little car. It was never had a day's trouble with it until one day, all of a sudden, the engine just started conking out on it at random times.
Yeah.
And you know, I looked up on the net and tried to, okay, well, let's see, and I couldn't find anything on there of what it might be that was going on. Food check.
Thank
So
you.
I had to take it into the shop, and the garage said that, well, this is a problem. Says the wiring harness, which is the big bundle of wires that control, you know, basically every electrical wire on your engine goes from the engine, goes up into one little location, and then gets put into like this pipe, this plastic pipe, and that gets stretched across the back of your engine to the other side where it goes out and into your dashboard and all that.
Yeah, it's supposed to make it neat and everything for the wiring loom.
Exactly, but what it causes, and they said it was a particular problem in this model of car, but they hadn't issued a recall. They had issued a recall for the 2 years before that had the same problem, so that you could, you know, get the wiring harness and all replaced for free. But they hadn't issued a recall for this particular year's model. And what happened was, where the wiring harness was situated, it passed over the exhaust manifold, and the heat would eventually cause the wires in there, if it didn't actually melt them, it would eventually bake the insulation on them. So the insulation would crack and flake off, and the wires would short out on each other. And, you know, I wrote the company and said, you know this is a problem on previous cars because you've recalled them. You know, what are the chances to get y'all to repair this, since it's a known problem, it's a manufacturing flaw that y'all have created, etc. And basically, you know, I got a form letter back from the company, but there was some additional stuff in it saying, you know, that, well, you know, the car that you have does have, is an 11-year-old car. And I said, yes, you know, write them back, yes, it's 11 years old, but it's only got 50,000 miles on it. Said, you know, I live in town, I live just 10 minutes away from my work. So yeah, if it was 11 years old and had 150 or 200,000 miles on it, then yeah, you might have an argument. But their argument was, oh, because of the age, you got to expect that kind of thing. And it's like, no, I don't. I expect the frickin' car to work.
Exactly.
Especially with that low of mileage.
Yeah.
And perfect example of, as you said, the planned obsolescence. Oh, we're only going to make our cars to work 10 years so that you have to trade them in and get a new one. And then they wonder why they lost so much of their market to the Japanese cars, which, if you don't pour gasoline on it and set it on fire, run practically forever.
Yeah. Well, it's a good point. It really is, because, I mean, it's a clever marketing, it's a clever business technique for them to continue their own sales. Otherwise, they're eventually going to run out of customers. But it's a very ignoble practice, and I think it's counterproductive too, because you don't want to buy from a company that's deliberately set you up that way.
No, you know. And my next car was a Toyota. And in the
there you go.
final letter that I wrote them, you know, like I said, we exchanged about 4 letters over the thing, and in the final letter I wrote them, I told them that. I said, you know, I will be buying a Toyota or a Honda from now on for that very reason.
Yep.
Because I know they're built, and they're built to last.
So do you need glass for your cockpit now?
Yeah,
something I forgot to bring.
It's not essential at the moment because I'm gonna have to look up and see what I'm gonna have to look up patterns and see how to build like a dome on it. Whoops.
Oops.
Okay.
You survived that.
I did. Took me down to 1 heart. And it took my acrobatic skill up to 76. So hey. Apparently I got a lot of experience for that fall.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's about as high as you can fall from and survive it.
Yeah.
I bet you might die if I fell that far.
Yeah, I was expecting to end up in a little pile at the bottom. The blasted part was I would have respawned inside the ship, so I would have had to come back down anyway to get my stuff. That would have been a pain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, have you thought anything about portals or something in this? Tell you what look nice as shutters, either trapdoors or fence gates.
Mm-hmm.
Well, trapdoors do because they go against the actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know whether you could get portals in that because, of course, centre bit's only too high, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, like I said, this first ring here is what I'm planning on being the observation. So yeah, I figure we'll probably replace these bottom 3, probably not this one, but maybe the next 3 rings with glass.
Well, really, you might want to replace everything apart from the very centre wooden strut where the torch is.
Mm-hmm.
Glass, wouldn't you?
So that you can sit here and just look out. And then maybe put, you know, a couple of might need a couple of wooden beams crossing it somewhere to just give kind of a support feel to it. Alright, so where are we going to put... We got the stairs on you.
I can give them for you. Yeah, we've got 32.
Okay. Okay, you're going to come back here. Oops. So this will be where you go up to first class. Let's not fall off this side because this side's even higher. Okay.
Oh, that's good, that, because that gives you quite a nice size for a cabin there.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, you can make it 2 levels. So you've got like a sitting room down here, and then you go up into the bed area upstairs. In fact, we can put glass in the top, and they can have skylights.
Yeah.
All right, hang on, got a text from the wife.